That's how I contact the Democrats from the other side.
Man,
The
I
billionaires and
want
the
one.
billionaires.
Shit.
What's up?
I got to travel back to the 80s to get one?
Please stay far away from me. Don't want to save yourself. Say no, farewell.
Welcome to the Quarantine Podcast, and we have a very special guest today. We have Jermaine Botsio from Conservative Nation. Jermaine, how you doing today?
Doing well, brother. Minnesota weather is kind of like a woman. You don't know what you're going to get any time of the day, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm. And even more so, Minnesota's like a trans woman. You really don't know what you're going to get.
You know it. You absolutely know it.
Oh, man. Last weekend was brutal, though. Last weekend was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was nonsense.
It was hot. And you see how black I am. I must have went 2 or 3 shades blacker. Let me tell you. And that's crazy.
Yeah, a month ago I was see-through white, and now I got a nice little tan on me, but
yeah, I know white folks is happy about that.
Dude, my AC went out and shit that whole time. So
oh no.
Yeah, I slept like 5 hours within 3 days.
Oh, brutal.
Dude, it's been nonstop, but you know, that's part of life. Just get through it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have 26 videos. We're not gonna be able to get through all those, but we're gonna start. And there's some really good ones here though. Let's see what should we start off with? All right. We're going to start off with Minnesota. You heard about the trans pitcher in Champlin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll check this one out real quick, see what that does.
Meet Marissa Rothenberger, a male pitcher absolutely dominating girls softball in Champlin, Minnesota.
And the pitch. Rothenberger back in the fifth. Swing and a miss here first. 0-2 pitch. Strike!
Rothenberger, at 6 feet tall, appears to tower over his female competition. In this game on May 6, 2025, he threw 7 strikeouts and shut out the opposing team. Apparently, Rothenberger's batting against average is .128, meaning opposing girl players only hit 12% of his pitches, which is considerably better than elite MLB players. He recently had an absurd 14 strikeouts in a single game.
Man.
What was really amazing was listening to the dense male announcers as they gush about Rothenberger's wingspan and how hard he throws it.
See how she whips it? The long arms is just such an advantage.
Wow.
The whip action of the long arm for Rothenberger.
It's not right. That's not right, bro. You see how slow them women were? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that shit other than that's Minnesota for you right there in a nutshell. But they actually went on to go win the championship. So he won that shit for him.
Yeah.
6 feet tall. That fucking dude is taller than I am.
Yeah.
Like what?
What the hell? Let me tell you something. That she going to the pro. She's going to the pros. A lot of folks aren't dumb in a sense. They're taking advantage of the people who are dumb out there. You get what I'm saying? They know that, hey, there's something going on with this kid here. You don't play good for the boys team, right? You suck. But let me tell you something. I know who you're better than, right? The weakest boy most of the time is going to be better than the best woman. And that's exactly what's going on here, where he's able to go ahead and demolish all these females who spent time and effort trying to, get good at the sport. It's crazy to me, bro.
It is. And I mean, part of me feels bad for these girls and stuff. But part of me is like, a part of me is like, man, y'all need to like not even play, like just
Mm-hmm.
forfeit, because that's the only way things are gonna change. Otherwise, they're gonna be like, oh, it's okay. I mean, that's like having fucking Ken Griffey Jr. on your high school baseball squad, and you're just trying to compete. Like, no, you're not gonna compete. But they don't want to be called transphobic, phobic, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just like, oh, we'll deal with it because what is a woman anyway? Like
Yeah. Yeah, those
so.
people are retarded, bro. And sorry for the R word, but yeah, they are. You can't get around it, and it's the female's fault. I'm not gonna
Yep.
sit here and play any games with nobody. It's the female's fault. It's the woman's fault in the world. The reason why this is going on. Do you think that we're gonna allow a female to come in our sport and then complain and do all the stuff that they're doing to the female sport? Absolutely not. No way, no how. Guys, we're logical. We're not going to allow that to happen. Even the guys won't even compete. Oh, there's a woman coming to play. Oh, you know what? I'm going to sit this one out. The guys are more logical than the females. The females have to use emotion, and their emotion clouds their judgment. And that's what's going on here. They're saying, you know what? What if I was confused and people were hyping me up? I wonder if I can, I wonder how I would feel if, people were saying I couldn't play with them. That's the way, women think about stuff, but they don't think about the totality of the reality of what's going on. They just don't,
Mhm.
And I think that it's incumbent on guys to wake up and to be honest with more women. You get what I'm saying? The more
Mhm.
honesty there is, the more how can I say that the more awake females would be, and they wouldn't allow stuff like this to go on.
Well, I think too with the men being competitive, and then the women kind of see it like a participation trophy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the issue because let's say a woman kicker gets into the NFL, that's for the best of the best, and if she can get in there, she's allowed to play. But knowing that males and females are different from bone density and all that, that they made a league for women, not
Mm-hmm.
for men who couldn't fucking make the team, you know? And
The
that's one of the
losers.
things that gets overlooked. And it's all like, there's a reason it's a women's league is because they're women, biological women. You
Mm-hmm.
can't be a dude and just go in there, kill shit, wreck shit. This ain't Joanna Man, you know?
Yeah. That,
Like,
Joanna, man, that was a good movie.
I've never seen it, but
I feel bad.
I see previews back for it in the 90s or whatever it was, but
Yeah.
the Juana Man Miguel Nunes Jr. is actually going to be at Crypticon this year, so I'm finally going to
Oh
get to meet
wow.
him. So I'm gonna ask him about that and be like, so is the prophecy true and shit? Like you can be whatever you want to be now, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But no, it's just crazy stuff, and the team went on to win the championship over that little nonsense thing, and I'm like, typical Minnesota just looks stupid on the world stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Minnesota. They have a lot of problems going on here, and it's basically becoming the liberal capital. I don't know if it overtook California. You get what I'm saying? California is liberal haven as well, but Minnesota is, it's pretty up there. It really is. Unless you're going out to the rural areas, like even in the town I'm in, it's more conservative than anything, but you still have those pockets of Democrats that are still around. But in the city, it's Democrat all over. So I think that if Minnesota wants to change their politics, there has to be a change in the mindset of the way they look at stuff. You get what I'm saying? Especially in the cities. The city is a different ball game because the Republicans don't even go out there in a sense to go and push out the message. There's nothing but Democrats over there, and they see it as a Democrat haven, and they don't even attempt to waste any money there. So that's part of the issue.
Yeah, I mean that's 100% because yeah, there's no representation of Republicans, but even the Minnesota Republicans out here, 90% of them are just weak and might as well be Democrats.
Yeah,
And
you ain't lying.
so basically, Minnesota is like the mini California, only with shittier weather. It's so much worse here, you know.
Yeah.
You get 6 months of winter and then 6 months of liberals acting a fucking fool. So
Yup. Absolutely burning down shit. You get what I'm saying? Doing all sorts of dumb stuff.
but I'll be escaping Blaine for the time being. So I'll get out into the country a little bit, so that's gonna be nice. But yeah, eventually the state, I mean, you think that eventually they'd be like, all right, everything's falling apart around us. Maybe we should vote differently. Will they do it though? You know? And the more shit I see with the trans people playing in high school sports and all this, I'm like, no, I think they're just really gone. They just lost their damn minds. CNN broke their minds completely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the influence, bro. That's exactly what it is. It's the influence. It's the new generation. Most of the young folks nowadays are raised by their mama. All right. They're not in a 2-parent household. So when you're in a 1-parent household, you're going to adopt the mental characteristics and the lifestyle of that person. And most of the time it's going to be the female. As you know, bro, females nowadays are what? Insecure. People like to say crazy, but we got to define crazy, right? Delusional. Most of the time they're saying, I don't need no man. The attitude isn't there. And I'm talking about women under 40, 35 and below. Those women are having children through the yin yang, and they're not having a good mindset about family. So that's why we're getting a lot of this BS going on. The guys think like a woman, they think like their mama, and the females think like their mama. So essentially, you just got nothing but females in the population now. You get what I'm saying? That's why a lot of stuff, sells, is because most of the population think and feel and act like a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the women are acting more masculine than the men. And then they're just all, it's true. It's
True,
so
somebody
crazy and
right.
backwards. But no, they really do. The women take care of everything. And I just think modern women are just, a lot of them, not all obviously, but man, a lot of them are just crazy, evil.
They're
evil,
absolutely
evil.
crazy.
And
wicked.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they super wicked. I don't care who get mad. I tell that to my wife. She roll her eyes. I say, you know what I'm talking about. All you have is 10 guys from different nationalities can sit in a room, bro, and they can sit there and find the commonalities between each one of them. They're not going to sit there and act, like the way females would. If there's 10 females in a room, you know what they would do? They would pick out probably the weakest one and start talking about her. You get what I'm saying? Look at her shoes. Look at this, that, and the third. You get what I'm saying? That's the way women are. They don't like each other, So you get what you get.
Yeah, it feels like they're pretty much all still in high school, and all the dudes kind of moved on and were like, whatever, I ain't got time for this. But this should transition really nicely into what we were just talking about.
Cool.
Modern women acting a fool.
Just finished the deal. All of this, what I'm going to order, you can do this go.
To go?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You good to go?
And then I'm gonna get something for my 12-year-old because he eat like a man. So I get the French fries. And then I might want to get her something to eat tomorrow. I ain't gonna feel like
Okay, now hold on for a minute. How much stuff did you just order? How much you got? How much you got?
I already put in the wings. Those are gonna come from here. And then I have a spinach dip,
Spinach dip to go.
buffalo sandwich to go,
Buffalo
and
sandwich to go. Chicken tenders to go.
That's all I have.
I got 3 children, you know that.
You got 3 children.
Yeah, so I'm gonna order all this stuff.
Buffalo sandwich to go. Chicken tenders to go.
Pretty screwed up.
That's a lot to go. You might as well go. That's too much. I can't. And this is our first day. Ain't something funny. This is our first day. I'm not taking care of your children. Am I crazy or she crazy? I mean, I'm just not. Am I crazy or she crazy?
She's not trying to get it.
It's our first day. Do I supposed to take care of the children?
I'm not
Look, I don't give a damn. What you
Look at that guy.
I'm so sorry. We need to talk about it. We need to time out. Keep the other stuff we ordered.
All right, God.
That's hilarious.
It is. So she orders 10 to-go meals on the first fucking date.
She's
was
taking
like,
advantage.
Oh, of course she is. And yeah, I feel bad for dude. I've fucking been there, want to be the nice guy, whatever. But yeah, I would have rolled out like she wouldn't have got that far.
Yeah, that's crazy. To the point where you're ordering 10 to-go meals. That's the modern day woman for you, though.
Yep.
She doesn't care about the guy, how much he has to work to get the money. You get what I'm saying? They believe it comes out of thin air. The guy probably had to work long hours, and he's using his time and the money to take you out. And then for you to not understand that, and you're ordering 10 to-go meals and you think that he's going to pay for it and stuff like that, guys got to stop being simps. Stop going out with the baby mamas. I'm telling you, they don't care about you most of the time. They're going to be using you. All right. And they're baby mamas for a reason. I know somebody's going to get mad. I know, right? Go ahead and get mad. Get mad out there. Yeah, baby mama for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, I think every man has to go through that shit until he's just like, but hopefully this dude did, and he's all like, oh, never again, because she's talking about like 10 meals to go, the 2 for them. I mean, you're looking at like 3 work days to pay for your fucking kids you never met, you know, like this ain't feeding the homeless and shit. Like, figure your shit out, and you're probably getting paid off the government anyway.
Yeah.
So really just, yeah, it's crazy. But I had my moment where I met a chick, online dating.
Ooh,
And
yeah, that's nice.
yeah. So I went, it was some far out shit. It was like 2 hours away. So the chick had me go over there, and she wanted to hang out with her pops. I mean, she was just a total bitch the whole time. But when we went over to her pop's house and shit, and he's like, basically she had to clean up a bunch of dog shit. And I was like, dude, I'm not going to be sitting out here all day. And there's like 2 hours on the drive home.
Oh,
But
Lord.
yeah, I was like, fuck it. Cleaned up all the dog shit and was like, all right. And then the fucking dad's like, well, thanks for doing that. Maybe you could help me drop this stuff off at the junkyard or some shit. And I was like, okay. So 20 minutes the other direction, it's closed. And then we go to a different place and we drop all the shit off. He's like, man, I'm gonna buy you guys lunch. So I was like, oh, all right, dope, whatever. And we're driving along, and they pull over to the gas station, gotta get gas, whatever. I get out of the gas station, like, and the chick's all like, yeah, I'm just gonna head home. And that was it. And dude, that was after working 6 days straight. I had that one day off, and then I worked the next 5 days. And I'm like, that was kind of the telling tale of when I was like, they're evil. Straight up, they're evil. Like, that's some cold shit. Like, if some chick was cleaning up dog shit for me, I would pay her, take her out to dinner, and
Mm-hmm.
even if I didn't like her, I would be like, I really appreciate you, and fucking, I'll help you out whenever it's needed. But yeah, I was just like, that was the worst date of my life. It's funny to talk about like the whole story. I have a dude at work I told the story to, and it's their favorite story to go to because there's so many twists and turns, and I didn't even get into all of them. But man, that is just pure evil, and they're all kind of shisty in that sense.
Yeah. They will. They'll go out with a guy just to get a meal. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's no decency anymore. And they get mad at you if you're a guy with standards. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I encourage guys to be honest with women. Stop being a pussy. All right. The women are more managed than you are. Yeah. If you see how they talk with one another, you would switch the way that you speak to them. Honestly, they're very rude to one another, call each other bitches and everything. So you got to be honest and real with them. And then on the second thing, stop dating baby mamas. I want to put that out there because most of the women in the market nowadays are baby mamas. They absolutely are. And they're not giving time to the gentleman. You know what I'm saying? The gentlemen are being raised coming from a baby mama, and they're not, they're not getting the time and the effort. Guys now need to start worrying about building and leading and being good men in the world rather than trying to pay for a girl hair and nails.
Mm-hmm.
So I think guys need to switch their priority a little bit, but that's just me.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think people are coming around, but I mean, at the same time, we're just getting old and we're just like that damn next generation. Um, I think everybody goes through that, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of the kids now are more based and stuff, and it's good to see, but
Mhm.
I think they can see what happens when you get involved with these evil women because that's what they are at the end of the day. I'm like,
Yeah, they're
I've
screwing the
seen so
children
many
too.
videos of just the worst, most hideous things, like talking about like, oh, if you don't pay this bill, you ain't seeing the kids. Like,
Yep.
who the fuck are you to say that? Like, oh, it just drives me insane. And then
Yeah.
everybody's got to be like, oh, all women are beautiful, even if they're
Yep.
trans. It's like, no, they're not.
No, they're not.
No, if there
Mhm.
was an evil fucking dude, I'd be like, that's an evil fucking dude. Fuck him. I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's a good man. No, he was evil. Just like women, just like
Mhm.
races. Like, it don't matter. There's shitty people. They come in all genders, shades, and it don't fucking matter. If you're a piece of shit person, you're a piece of shit person.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. You just can't get around that, you know. I got a stupid fly in here that's attacking me.
so this is kind of humorous and shit. So you know who Lindsey Graham is, right?
Oh yeah, Playboy of the Senate, as they would say.
Mr. Lindsey Graham.
Mm-hmm.
So somehow Lindsey Graham got his hands on a mask and a voice changer because I swear this is Lindsey Graham right here.
We were just talking about this morning.
Yeah, bad man. Bad boy. Bad boy. Bad boy. Operate raping.
Oh wow.
Just wanted to play that one because goddamn, that was funny as.
I'm telling you, you see how evil folks are? Yeah, as if Trump done something to them. Folks are hold on. I'm telling you,
I'm telling you,
craziness.
I'm gonna make Trump voodoo dolls and slang it and market it to liberals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the only way to get rich nowadays.
Yeah, yeah. You can definitely make some money doing that. You know, they sell a lot of Trump hate gear around. So
They do.
if you hit all the rallies, you'll probably make millions. You know, and then you
Yeah.
use it against them.
I mean, between the voodoo dolls and don't date baby mamas t-shirts by
Yeah.
Conservative Nation. Yeah,
Actually,
but
that'll be a real good slogan. Don't date baby mamas.
yeah.
Absolutely, it will sell off the racks. I'm telling you. People will say, "Yeah,
I'll be rocking
that's a
one.
good slogan." I was telling my brother the other day. Yeah, he got a woman. He got a 4x3. Yeah, you know what that is? Yeah, 4 children by 3 different men. Man, she crazy. She out of her mind.
Yeah. Speaking of out of their mind, I got a little something for you.
One of the worst countries where the military are in our streets without any regard for people's constitutional rights, while our president spending millions of dollars propping himself up like a failed dictator with a military parade. It is really shocking, and it should be a wake-up call for all Americans to say this is not the country we were born in, this is not the country we believe in, this is not the country our founding fathers imagined, and this is not the country that is supported by our Constitution, our ideals, our values. And we should all collectively be out in the streets rejecting what is taking place this week.
Wow.
She's this is not what the founding fathers. She is calling them motherfuckers racist for years.
Yeah.
For years. And now she wants to play that card.
Yeah. Ilhan Omar, she's crazy. And let me tell you something. That diaper lady, the one that married her brother to get in here, she's absolutely doing this because she knows that she's one of the next people that's about to get out of her district. There is somebody who's running against her. I forgot the guy's name, but he got a little power behind him. So, she's doing whatever she can to rile up the crazies and get them behind her. You get what I'm saying? She's a woman that ran from her country to come to the greatest country to tell the greatest country they're not great. Ain't that crazy?
It is. And that's what you get from Minnesota. Welcome to Minnesota. Yeah, it's nonstop, but she's one of the biggest politicians that drives me nuts, because she's such a liar and a terrible person. And people, I don't even think people fall for it, but I'm still just like, how do you keep winning? You're destroying everything, not even slowly, but rapidly, and you're still winning. I was looking into it. AOC is another one that's just crazy. So her district, she's not even getting money from people in her district. Like 10% come from money from her district. 90% of that comes in from online, because you have a bunch of socialists in this country who thinks socialism is the only way to go, and they're actually donating to AOC 90% through the internet. So it don't matter. So like when people were chanting like get AOC out of here and she starts dancing to it, like that's because she truly don't care, because 90% of her money's coming from elsewhere and she don't have to worry about her constituents. So it's games like that where I'm like, that's got to be fixed. Like they need to do something about that.
Absolutely. That's what they call dark money. You don't know where it's coming from. That's how a lot of these crazy politicians like Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Ayanna Presley, and those folks get on the stage. And I believe it's the deep state and some very rich folks that want to keep these people in the position that they are in. And once they're in there, they're able to affect policy and push the crazy agendas that that we don't like around here. Especially here in Minnesota, that woman, Ilhan Omar, she's a thorn in our side right now. She absolutely is. And she's not about uplifting Minnesota. She's about defunding the police. She's about getting, immigrants, illegal aliens, I should say, free health care and all sorts of incentives. She's not for the American citizen at all. And I wish that people would wake up, but that's the world we're living in. We're more about feelings than what facts, things that are real.
Okay, I wanted to I wanted to pull this up because kind of on the same topic. This is my favorite one of them all, though.
Also concerned about those that are walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation. We'll continue to do what we can to support the communities and immigration coalitions and thank them for their work that they're doing at this time. It's hard to see these people, to know their stories, to hug them, to know they've been separated from loved ones.
She's a fraud.
I just want to say we're a better country than this. We're a far better country than what we're experiencing.
Yeah.
This is New York. This is New York.
It sounds like she forgot where she was. This is New York. This is New York.
This Venezuela? Oh, this is New York.
That's the craziest thing. A $50 million tax to taxpayers to fund legal help for illegals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just putting that perspective, like I was thinking about this all day last week, and I was just thinking about how absurd that sounds. And the more you say it, the more absurd it sounds. We're gonna be $50 million of taxpayer money for legal services for illegals. And the more I just repeat that, I'm like, what?
Yeah, that is crazy.
It's absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm. You know it. And she doesn't care about the taxpayers. She doesn't care about the crime rate that's high over there. She doesn't care about the drugs being pushed in. She cares about being governor. And that's why she doesn't care about using the taxpayer money, because she knows that it's not coming out of her pocket, and the crazy folks that are there will keep funding her. As long as you got those illegal aliens there and they're able to vote, you're going to get in. You're going to get in.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the New Yorkers that are leaving to Florida, leaving elsewhere because it's just not worth it. And then they're just bringing in all these illegals to try to match that population. It's like, it's just for the census reasons. Just get them in there so they can hold those seats.
That's it.
You heard about the new dude? They got just won the primary.
Oh yeah. Democratic Socialist.
What's your thoughts on that dude?
That guy there, he's a wild man as well. But that's the angle that most Democrats want to go right now. They're really that far off. You get what I'm saying? And then he's also Muslim as well. He's trying to bring some stuff to New York that I don't think New York is ready for. They already got a lot of issues trying to handle entitlements. You can see Eric Adams. He had a lot of problems with the illegal aliens that are there. He's going to have a lot more problems in a sense going forward. So, it's a lot of stuff going on. A lot.
So, I have a different opinion on this one a little bit.
Go ahead.
So the primaries was basically between him and Andrew Cuomo.
Yep.
So Andrew Cuomo bowed out or whatever, he lost. I mean, who do you vote? Like, let's say you're from New York, right? Who do you vote for? Like, and I hate to say
Yeah.
it. Well, obviously, I would vote for Eric Adams because at this point, that's your only hope. Tell everybody to just fall back, and yeah, we'll put it on Eric Adams because at least he spoke out against the illegal immigration,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they gave him that subpoena and shit, and they were going after him. And it's all like, yeah, I mean, that's your best bet. Cause I mean, part of me wants to just see the chaos because I think it'll be funny a LGBTQ plus IA Muslim running
Yeah.
shit. Like I don't think you can do that. But
Mm.
and like I seen Minnesota turn into a shithole. And
Yeah.
I mean, New York, I mean, I'm pretty much sure it's right there anyway.
Yeah, it's
But
gone.
I mean, what do you do? What would you vote for?
You know, yeah, and shoot, Eric Adams probably be the closest thing. That's what I would say. You, yeah, or you vote to get your ass up out of there.
Yep.
Those are your options right now. I just don't see it getting any better, and a lot of it is because of the population there, um, the outlook on life, and then on top of that too, they're doing this on purpose. I believe a lot of what's going on is on purpose. They want to destroy the infrastructure, and they want to destroy, um, you know, uh, America being able to heal itself. With everything going on, and you're spending all this money on entitlements, you're not going to be able to help the infrastructure. You're not going to be able to pay Social Security, all these things. So when this stuff is happening, most folks don't think about it. They just think about, how to get help right then and there, but they're not thinking about the overall picture. And that's what's destroying us right now is that overall picture.
Yeah, I'll bring this.
What happened yesterday in New York City
This is
happened
Tim Walz's
because
daughter.
progressive policies are popular. I know it might surprise some people, but feeding kids lunch, providing childcare, having accessible and functional public transportation, among many other things, are popular policies everywhere. They're popular everywhere. And they're common sense, right? Like when you think about this country, you think about it's a great place to grow up and raise a family and like build your life, or at least that's how it should be. And with that comes feeding kids lunch, allowing people to get to and from work in like a timely, efficient, affordable manner, providing people childcare while they go to work.
I agree with
Right? All of that is common sense and it's popular. And I've said this since the beginning, it's all messaging.
Yeah, I agree with and that's something that I need conservative Republicans to get on the ball with. That's why I speak about social issues, because these type of social issues I don't hear Republicans speaking about, and this is what these folks are that are 35, 40 and below are talking about. So how are they going to address it if one side isn't addressing it and having a narrative on the discussion, and the other side is just playing catch up and playing a response? You're never going to be able to stop that train that's rolling. So I haven't heard the Republican response to it. What about they would say, well, we got to keep taxes low, and those taxes will blah 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 and blah blah. And that message, I understand it, but it doesn't. It's hard to digest. With the other side that has a more clean cut message where, hey, this, that, and the third will get you this type of result you need.
Well, that's the funny thing, that when I hear that, I'm all like, so you said a couple good things, but you said a couple good things about communism.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just all like, yeah, everybody should have free stuff. This should be free. This should be free. It's all like, yeah, in a perfect world, everything could be free, but it'll never happen because someone's got to create said item or food or whatever it might be. And I think it's funny that they use those things, be like, oh, this is a good part. Well, let's talk about Zubadad or whatever his name is. He's talking about tax white people more than everybody else, and that's going to make it efficient. It's like, why didn't she talk about that? Why didn't she talk about the illegal immigration where they're getting free phones, free healthcare, and free places to stay?
There you go.
Regular people have to go work. They got to give 40 hours of their best lives every week to a company just to try to get by. Yet you can have people just come over and live their best life all day, every day, and getting paid for it. It's unacceptable. And that's the point that she won't talk about. She'll talk about all the good things, like, yeah, school lunches should be free. We should have free public transportation. Well, who's paying for it? Because it's obviously not the people who don't want to work and don't want to contribute to society. And I'm like, this is why socialism's so popular. And you think CNN or MSNBC or any mainstream media is going to say anything else? What do you got, Fox News and Sean Hannity? Like, get out of here.
Sean Hannity and those guys, they're not going to reach the younger crowd and be able to translate what you just said. You get what I'm saying? What you said is absolutely true. The truth there. She's saying everything that sounds sweet. Yeah, free healthcare, this, that, and the third. But she's not telling you, hey, to get it, we're gonna have to go and tax some other folks that are working hard for their money. You get what I'm saying? She's not saying that. Instead, the Republicans, in a sense, should be saying, you know what? If you want health, you want the health care, you want the free meals and stuff like that, we can get the money for it, but we got to cut off the illegal immigration and stop paying for free health care. You get what I'm saying? For them, you see where I'm going, right? You cut all this, and sure, there'll be enough money to supply what you want. And this should be the Republican response, but Republicans aren't saying nothing about it. They're just saying it's socialism and communism as the response. And when you say that to people of color, idiots, buffoons, young white liberals, young white folks, period, it don't sound nice because they can't understand it. Socialism and communism, that's Sean Hannity for you. You know what I'm saying? But gosh darn it, how did we get it? You know what I'm saying? You can say, hey, well, we cut all this other free stuff that's going to illegals, and then we get you it. You know what I'm saying? That's how we grab those other folks. But we're not doing that, and that's the issue I'm having with Republicans and conservatives, because that type of messaging ain't there. And it should be there, and and it would work. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and it is a messaging problem, but at the same time, you can't reach liberals. I mean, their brain is broken at this point. You can't. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, once they gone off the deep end, they gone, right?
Yup. Like, look at Tim Walz's wife opened the windows during the George Floyd riots because she said the burning smelled like justice. And I'm like, dude, that is so psychotic.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks nutty, but it's all one and the same. It's just like,
Gonna be
dude, why
baby
do you
mama.
not get this? And I think deep down it's because the men and the women both want to be like socially acceptable. As for I
Mhm.
feel like true men don't give a fuck. You say
Yeah.
what's right and what needs to be said,
Yep.
but they don't want to do that, and they're so scared of getting called racist or transphobic, any of the phobes, and it's just like, dude, I don't care anymore. I mean, my pops's last time on this earth was under Joe Biden, where it was just a
Oh
fucking
Lord.
nightmare. So you think I care anymore about offending anyone?
Mm.
I don't. And I think people need to adjust to that shit.
Yeah,
Um,
they certainly do.
yeah.
Those are a lot of those guys, the men that are now, I'm telling you, they're raised by their mama.
Mm-hmm.
They think and feel like a woman. So even though they look like us, you get what I'm saying? They got the hair and stuff, but they're not. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Yeah, I'm telling ya. You can tell by their actions and behavior. So that's why we need real men to stand up and not care anymore. Screw them. Do what's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like you look at black dudes in the 90s and shit, the fashion, just badasses.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like they're sassy with nail polish.
Yep.
Like bro, y'all turned into Prince.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, they were raised by their mama. Over 70% of black men raised by their mama. Think about that. Yeah,
Oh
that's why
yeah.
they're quick to fight. I mean, I could go on and on.
Yeah, I was raised by my mama, but and that set me back a ways. And that's probably why I can't record music anymore, is because music is so emotional.
Yeah,
And like
it
in the
is.
last
It's very
6 years, I'm
much.
like, dude, I ain't got nothing to say because there's no problems you can't solve. You just got to do it.
Mm-hmm. It
It's
is. It
funny
is.
how that works. I got one more video,
Yep.
and
No.
this one I really want your opinion on. This is dope. Well, kind of.
So they disagree with you. They do. And I disagree with them. And that's fine. That's what makes America great, right, Pat Moore? I should rephrase that. Yes. But yeah, I did think
opinion are perfectly
yes,
fine.
that's a better way to say it. Sorry about that.
Sorry about saying that's what makes America great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry if that offended anybody. This, that, and the third, and that's the type of stuff that is ruining America, and a lot of it is because America has a female culture now. You know what I'm saying? That's a female thing. A lot of this stuff is, like I said, they knew what they were doing to destroy this nation. They know. You remove the men from the household, you let your mama raise you. And some women, they can raise children by themselves and do a good job. I'm not taking away from those women. But the majority, they cannot. They absolutely cannot. And that's you can see it. You can absolutely see it. There's no reason why she need to apologize for something like that. For telling the truth, for even her own opinion. She shouldn't have to apologize for that, but that's where we are.
I just thought it was funny. Like, that's what makes America great. And then it was just the awkward silence.
Yeah.
I should rephrase that. I'm sorry. Like, that's disgusting. I was just listening to that. I was like, oh my God, that's so stupid. And don't get me wrong, I hate the WNBA and Caitlin Clark and all them. But no, I was like, that's what it is. And when you were talking about like single mamas can't raise kids, it's like, no, because they can't properly discipline the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think kids need an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Like I needed an ass whooping,
Yep.
and that
I
set
did
me
too.
straight. Yeah, and we don't get that anymore because then it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we calling CPS then. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like, no. Kids need that shit, otherwise they do way too much stupid shit, and weak
Mhm.
men are destroying this society. That's why we've
Yeah.
got so many kids doing stupid things nowadays. No consequences, but yeah,
Yeah.
that should be a wrap. Where can people find you at, Jermaine?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Rumble. I'm getting my website back, Conservative Nation with JermaineBotsio.com. So that should be up maybe by next month. It's under construction right now.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's what it is. And you
Hell
should be
yeah.
able to follow me on Apple Podcasts probably by next week as well. So should
Nice.
be there.
All right, bro. Thanks for coming on Quarantine. Till next time.
Absolutely.
Peace, love, prayers.
Absolutely.